Welcome everybody, my name is Richard, this is RSEV, and what I've always enjoyed doing is going and buying a car, driving it for a couple of weeks, maybe a month, and then kind of selling it on, buy something else. I've always loved cars, is what I like to do. So, and that's one of the reasons why I started this business, RSEV, where now we buy and sell mainly electric cars. Now this VW Buzz has been mine for the last month. I've been driving around it, it's covered in bugs, it's dirty, it's been put to good use, and I absolutely love this thing. I think it's wonderful. So in this video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my life with the Buzz for the last month, what I don't like about it. There's a couple of things I don't like so much about it, and I'll tell you about them in this video as well. Plus a couple of practical things like, okay, how far does it really go on a charge? How much efficiency can I get from this? How much does it cost to run? So that's what's coming up in this video, my month with the Buzz. Okay, so before we get into the likes and dislikes too much, what is this one? Well, this is a short wheelbase 5-seater, quite a good spec to it, and I like this dark blue metallic colour. A lot of them are in the two-tone colour schemes, which have been quite popular. Personally, I'm not so much of a fan for them. I think they're a bit too twee, but that's just my personal opinion. I like this, a bit more refined and sophisticated. Now, on the used market, this 2023 example here is worth about $39,995 as a film. So you can get these for under £40,000. There's now a long wheelbase and there's now a 6 or 7 seat option as well. But they've only just become available quite recently, so they're a lot more expensive at the moment. So if you're looking at a Buzz under the £40,000 mark, you will see some now. Of course, it's getting cheaper and cheaper every day, but it'll be a short wheelbase 5-seater like this one. Now that gives you about 77 kilowatt hours of usable battery capacity, a bit over 80 gross. And actually it's the same battery and rear wheel drive motor that drives my wife's ID3 Tour. Now that we can get about 300 miles of range really quite happily and easily day in, day out. Obviously this is a bigger and heavier vehicle, so it's not as quick, but it does still have a real world range of a good 250 miles actually. I've even had pro rata use 300 miles out of this on one occasion, easily over 200, so I've actually been quite impressed with the efficiency. Usually somewhere between 3.5, 3.7 miles per kilowatt hour, which I think for the size of the vehicle is quite good. Mixed driving, a bit of everything. Obviously motorway speed is a bit of a sort of bigger blunt car, can struggle a little bit, but well over 200 miles. Actually for me, I'm always getting around about 250 miles, so very good real world range from it. Charging speeds are pretty good as well. Normally I just charge this from home, overnight, cheap electric, and then do all my commuting and driving, and it has ample range to do most of that without having to stop at a public charger. With cheap overnight electricity, 10,000 miles driving in this is going to cost about £200, so a lot cheaper than petrol or diesel if you're coming from a big diesel petrol kind of practical van type MPV that exists out there. So cheap to run and also actually very good to drive. I'll come on to driving in a minute. So what are the likes and dislikes about this? So should I do the dislikes first? Right, let's start there. So not so good. One, there's no opening window here. Some of the new ones do now, but this one here doesn't have an open inside window. We haven't really found it a problem. Tend to have the aircon on, which is very good, but no open inside window. Whilst I like the little cute pause and play buttons from the pedals, what I have found is that getting in and out, it's kind of a bit awkward sometimes, because if I miss the step, it's kind of quite a long way down, but I can do that. But I feel like I'm just sliding off the side of the seat all the time. But if I use the step, it's kind of an awkward height. So I'm kind of like that. And it's kind of a weird, and sometimes I found myself like this. So it's kind of a weird getting in and out kind of thing. But is that a bad thing? I don't know. I'm kind of clutching at straws here. People moan about the VW software, but it's fine. Like for me, it's better than the Kia, Hyundai group. So whenever I do a video about VW, people go, yeah, but the software's rubbish. It's just a bit more basic, but it's fine. Like it's just functional, does the job, and there can be the odd little lag, but you can see here that basically it's okay. It does over-the-air updates now. It's just not as comprehensively detailed as some cars, and it doesn't have things like dog mode like a Tesla does. Dog mode would be fantastic, so I'd like to see it a bit more feature-rich, but it's okay. And that does have wireless Apple CarPlay, so I can connect at any time. The CarPlay works great, and in fact, if I'm using Apple Maps, that does go through to the display on the screen here and even the ID light bar. So the integration of Apple CarPlay, Apple Maps, also through the display, not just on there, as well as the native nav, is good. And of course, no moaning is complete without the moan about the haptic buttons on the steering wheel. I've got used to it, but even then you do kind of sometimes knock the button here. It would just be better with actual buttons you don't catch so easily. And when you want to change the temperature, you've got to do this or you do that. It just sometimes isn't working that nicely. So an actual knob button for the temperature and actual buttons on here would be my preference. To be honest, I don't think there's much to moan about. So let's get on with the good things. It starts right at the front here. These headlights, they're fantastic. Now this is the one with the IQ light, which means it's got matrix, proper cornering headlights, and they even do a really cute little wake up thing. When you walk up to it or walk past it at night in a driveway, it kind of starts waking up and it has a look around. But just to use, the headlights are really good. They actually corner. The matrix functionality is great. The spread of beams is fantastic. There's not many cars out there with better headlights. Maybe a Polestar with the matrix, they're very good. A Tesla, this Tesla here is nowhere near as good as this for its headlights, even though that now has matrix. So brilliant headlights. So these waking up headlights are cute, but there's some other cute little things as well. The little pause and play buttons for the pedals is cute. Behind most car door handles is a little cover where there would be a screw to undo if you ever had to take the door cut off. However, it's not just a cover on the ID Buzz, it's got a cute little smiley face on it. This isn't just a plastic cover, it's got a cute little Buzz symbol on it here, but there's more. There's one here as well. And on there, in here, we've got the center console, which can actually be removed, but in the back of it is a drawer. And not just any drawer, because on the side of that drawer, there's some more little drawers, a little van there, and what's that, little map or something? Oh, I don't know, little details that don't really need to be there, but they've made the effort anyway. I don't know why I'm still climbing around the back of it like this, but I was going to say there's loads of USB ports in the car. So there's 2, 3, and there's also ones in the back doors here. So 4, 5, any in the back here? No, but there is a 12-volt. So there's 5 USB-Cs. No USB-As though. It'd be good to have at least one in case you've got the wrong cable with you. What's it like to drive? Well, I really like it. There is a little bit of lumpiness to the ride sometimes, but generally it's actually quite smooth. It is quite quiet, it's quite refined. The steering's got kind of a nice weight to it. It handles quite nicely. It goes quick enough. And it's quite pleasant. There's a little bit of van-like feel, and by that I mean like you kind of sit on the front axle, so you get a little bit of that sort of front end bounce, but generally it's pretty good. It takes a little bit getting used to the driving position. This bit's wonderful, by the way, you know, double armrest on this captain's chair, driving it, and there's good windows and good visibility. What is kind of weird is just how far away the windscreen is. So let me give you an idea. Look, this, I'm still not even touching the very front corner there, close but not quite. And that took a bit of getting used to, because it's kind of all the way over there. However, when you are used to it, you realise that's basically the front of the vehicle. And then the back of the vehicle is very easy to see. It's very square and boxy. And you've got a good reversing camera here as well with guidelines on it. So that's fine. Let me wake it up and put it in reverse. And you've got guidelines here to show where you're going. And you've even got wide angle view when you're reversing out of a driveway. So I've actually found it to be very easy to manoeuvre and to park. It's got a very good turning circle, by the way, as well. And it's actually not very long. It's actually shorter than a lot of cars. You'd be surprised. It might look like a van. We've got a Land Rover Defender 110 in there, and it's a lot shorter than that. It's under 2 meters tall, so it also goes in multi-stories. And it actually makes it, although it's a bigger, square thing, don't be intimidated, because it's very easy to park and maneuver and get into basically any normal parking space. So to drive and to own and to live with, it's just been great. No problem. So there's obviously ample space in the back here, and I can, if I find a lever, show you that the seat does move backwards and forwards a bit, and it also is able to recline a fair bit as well. So pretty comfortable in the back here. And you can now get a 6-seater which has armrests and everything as well, enough space to kind of go through to the back seats. But also this is just a 5, which is split, 2 seats here, 1 there. And what is good if you come around this way is I've got a tray table there, which is really cool to have actually, as well as a big pocket here and a phone holder there, which is convenient. So again, space, practicality, 3 adults in the back of this, fantastic. You can't really get any better. It would be good to occasionally have those sort of extra row of seats, but I have to be honest, although I sort of think if you're going to have something this big, have the extra seats, well, I think I'd end up just being a dad taxi even more. So maybe sticking to a 5-seater is the right thing to do. Of course, the boot is large and practical and spacious. What would be good is if you could just take these seats out completely. So removable seats, like in the EQV, can be very heavy. But that occasion where you want the full height of the van, then it'd be good to just be able to take them out and have the option there. Or take out one section and leave one in, for example. You can do that in EQV, you can't do it in this. Apart from that though, hard to complain. So this is the junk that lives in the back of our van. I've been to the rubbish tip this morning because there's the gloves there. And of course, rubbish tips are ideal in this, and I've been using it like a van most of the time. So this one's got this sort of false floor sections in it, and you won't always see that. This one here means you can lift that up and gain access to the back here, and we've got a large frisbee and some fold-up chairs and a dog ball thrower thing, so you can stash them away. I can take this out. You just have to undo these couple of screws, one there, and you can take it out completely. And the same with this section here. But I found this to be quite useful, so that you can have your junk stowed away in there and still have a big flat floor area, which is normally this height here is plenty enough to put in even, you know, big wheelbarrows and stuff like that. Cute little detail. This normally lives there, and if you've got something that shouldn't roll around, there was a tennis ball somewhere. Anyway, let's pretend this glove is a ball. You can have it rolling around. You can stick these little things to the floor and it can't move about. I'm trying to think of other examples of that, but that's the best I've got so far. And then you can actually store them away in there somewhere. Little cute bag hook here as well, so things don't roll around when you got your takeaway. There is a parcel shelf that goes across there. I just found that permanently annoying, so actually I've stowed it in the sort of gap between the bottom of this and the seats there, so it's just hidden away, still in the vehicle if I needed it. This is plenty enough for me to lay out. Maybe I'll make a bit of more of a camper conversion of it one day, you never know. But as you'd expect, a nice, good practical load area. You do have, obviously, this large tailgate, which if it's raining, it's good that you can stand underneath it. There's some nice bright lights here so you can see. What you do have to be aware of is I don't reverse into parking spaces so much now because you need a fair bit of clearance to open this tailgate. So if you park too close to the wall, obviously you need that sort of gap. So you've just got to be aware of that and not park too close to walls and stuff. Of course, the reverse camera here means you can see that. Also some really cute light animations also at night, and they do a little wake up pattern, and you've got that stroby LED indicator thing going on. Well, that's it. I think this one, does this have a sort of exterior design pack or something? I think it might have on the spec. I can't remember now, but anyway, yeah, that's just good. I like it. Okay, so that was just a quick sort of super casual walk around, point out a few things, but you probably got the idea. You know, I really love it. Of course, a lot of your kind of want for one of these would be, it would answer your practical needs. I like doing a bit of DIY. I like the thing that if you just go and buy something large, you can just put it straight in the back of the vehicle, not have to go and arrange delivery and all that kind of stuff. So it's been super practical. Bits of wood in there, dump runs, buying wheelbarrows, buying all sorts of stuff. You know, it just goes in the back. In most cases, it's just brilliantly practical. But it's also a functional, comfortable family car. It drives well. It's got good headlights, some nice features. It's just a nice, easy thing to live with. So I really like it. It doesn't feel too much like a van for me, just a good practical car. I love it. So I just want to make a quick video about that. I had this a month, still using it, still enjoying it. It's not even for sale. I'm telling you how good the car is, even though it's not for sale. Maybe, you know, should I consider a newer, the GTX looks nice. I imagine a 6-seat GTX in red. I like the look of one of them. You know, I've thought about whether I should get one of them. I'll keep thinking about it. We'll see. Anyway, that's it for me for now for this video. Thank you for watching. See you another one very soon.